know what's the matter with it.
We'll let you get back to service. We don't want a smoky V8, do we? There's a lot of cylinders to fix if that happens. No smoky cylinders here.
No smoky cylinders here. I saw smoke coming out and it pulled over at finish line, so looks like it's got a bit of an issue.
And all happy?
Yeah, all good. We went on to wets for that one after that shower, and yeah, really plenty of grip. So really.
Ironic, isn't it? You're sponsored by a tool company, and yet you don't have any work to do in service.
No, it's very reliable. It's
better lend them out. Pete Charlton in the Laser Tools sponsored Mark II hasn't had to use those tools very much today here at Cadwell Park. Phil, you're getting quicker for a car that you openly say needs replacing because it's had a bit of mileage on it over the years. You're getting quicker.
Yeah, just getting used to the layout today. Car's going well, so yeah, all's good.
You like pushing on here. You've done it before plenty of times, and this car seems to enjoy being here too.
Yeah, it's pretty good on tarmac. It's not so good in the forest, but it's a good tarmac car, yeah.
There we go, Phil Rowlands, and yeah, I should have mentioned actually that Phil doesn't just do anymore the single venue circuit rallies here in the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship. He does do some forest stuff as well in that car. You're still keeping it clean and tidy?
Trying to keep it as best as we can, yeah. It's, just doing all right, trying our hardest.
What's your plan for the afternoon? Because you're in a little bit of a no man's land class-wise.
No, I'm just going to do my best, just keep going what I can do. Don't know. See how it happens.
What happens, happens.
Yeah, that's it.
There we go. That's one way of doing it. I mean, what's the point in piling the pressure on yourself when actually you could drive as fast as you possibly can, as Alex Stubbs is, and then, see how you go. He's 5th in Class D at the moment, in a bit of a no man's land in that position. Wouldn't be a bad position. Dean, I have to mention your co-driver. In fact, I'm going to come around and speak to Jeff. Hang on a second. So Jeff is 80 years old, has been rallying since the 80s. This is your last event, Jeff?
My last event, yeah, finally.
What a story. What car did you start in?
A Chevette. And the driver, the joke was he'd got a bifocal windscreen because his eyesight was that bad, that joke. Yeah.
Congratulations on a long and hopefully successful rally career that you'll look back on.
It's been good, it's been good. I mean, it's still got marshalling, but yeah, this is the last one, so yeah.
80 years old, 80 years young.
80 years young, mate, yeah, thank you.
For the rest of your day, congratulations.
Thank you.
Jeff Moss is 80 years old and he's competing on his very last event, having competed since the 80s. Jeff Moss, driving in that car ahead, is 80, doing his last rally today. His very first rally in the 80s was in a Chevette, just like this one in his rear view mirror.
Brilliant, that's great. That was really good stages in the damp there. And going into the dark as well, superb, really good fun.
Brilliant. Everyone else is worried about the damp and the dark, but no worries in the Chevette. The damper, the darker, the better. That Chevette up ahead, the darker, the damper, the better, he says. How about you?
I'm not so sure about that, but we're still here, yeah. And the rain's not been as bad as I said it was going to be, so... Yeah.
Was it me who said that?
Well, yeah, you did warn me about it early on.
Hey, you see, presenter's curse, it can go both ways. I can sort the rain out as well if I predict it wrong. Lee Ryan, quite happy with that, that the rain isn't as bad as I said. Adam, the rain's not as bad as I said. You probably want it to be a bit worse, don't you, in your class?
Hey, I've got no 4th gear, but I'm still struggling on.
Someone up there's only got 4th gear, so which would you rather?
Well, at least I've got 4 more.
But, as far as the class goes, where are we? We're 3rd, aren't we?
Third, yeah. Just keep him off, little Corset, Nova coming up behind.
Right, okay, I'll tell him that you're watching in your rear view for him. There we go. Peter, how's it going in here?
We're enjoying ourselves.
Yeah?
We're enjoying ourselves. Good. Yeah, we're just
getting into the rhythm, because that's important here.
Getting into the rhythm. We're moving, just like Strictly. We're just getting that nice dance going.
It's easier the right way around the circuit.
It is easy. Yeah, it is.
Charlotte's nodding.
Spot on. All right, have fun.
There we go. Oh, Peter Taylor, Charlotte Wainwright almost taking out the camera as they go. Well, you've certainly got people watching in their rear view for you in that 2nd place in class.
Excellent. It's such a hoot. It's really good fun. It's still quite slippery. I can't see it drying out anymore, so we're going to leave it on the wets and just try and take it home. Try and, keep going.
Fabulous. Well, you're 2nd in class at the moment. Keep it going, and that's going to be a pretty good result, isn't it? William Rutledge can't see it drying out, so he's got a different opinion to me. Get the misfire sorted, I see.
Yeah, she's happy now.
Sounds amazing, actually. Is it suited to this stages?
Yeah, she loves it. Nice and smooth, yeah.
Especially right way around the circuit, huh?
Yeah, I prefer it this way. Yeah.
There we go. Jonathan prefers it this way in a Citroen C2, and it's good to see it running properly, because that is one of, you know, if you've watched enough of these, that is one of my favourite rally cars, C2 R2. One of the best sounding rally cars of the last 20 years. You guys are moving the right way on the leaderboard now. You're getting in the rhythm.
Yeah, we really enjoyed that one. Yeah.
The circuit just works the right way round, doesn't it?
It just really helped that. Yeah. Makes a massive difference. We got to play a bit more on the handbrake this time, so really good stage. Enjoyed that.
Something you'll have done previously.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. And that's the thing, it's knowing when to use it and when not to use it. So it was a couple of times I went to go and went, no, just drive it. And then the next time, it was just neat and tidy. So yeah.
Wait until the time when the co-driver grabs it and he looks at it as if to say, that was the time, Stephen.
Yeah, that might be a little bit alarming if that happens.
It's happened to me, and it's fun. Stephen Johansson enjoying his journey in four-wheel drive rallying now, I think it's fair to say. Oh, you've got your oil light flashing.
That's going very well now, yeah. We just had a little bit of problem whether to change the tyres or not. So we're going to wets, because I think it's
seems to be the thing to do.
Well, I think it's just going to be dew now and damp, and we're getting a lovely lot of grip with these, so we'll stick with them.
Your oil light's on, David, is that okay?
Stopped.
Okay, I won't tell him it was already on before it stopped, but David Ottaway enjoying themselves and getting the car running properly now into the afternoon stages, which is good. Tony, you were lamenting a lack of power earlier. Is it still there?
Well, it's doing its job. You know, you can't grumble, can you? We've just managed to overtake one in the stage. They're going 32nd. Just keep.
So the car in front really is a Toyota?
Well, I hope so.
As it turns out. There we go. Back to service for a bit of service time, and here's a man who's really enjoying himself. Rob Overend, big smile on his face coming through in his little Fiesta, just takes the cameraman out with the door. How's it going?
Yeah, spot on, Paul. Yeah, having a good fun.
You're chucking it around, and the results aren't too bad, you know?
No, for what it is, it's fun.
Coming into that one, I did myself.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Can you do any more than that?
No.
You're in a bit of a no man's land there, aren't you?
Yeah, we're just out for get a finish.
Yep.
There's a lot of folks that haven't done.
There we go. But it's nice to see people enjoying the rallying, which of course is what it's all for, isn't it? You guys happy in here?
Yeah, it's getting really slippy. It's really good. Cheap skids now.
This is where the Mini Cooper Challenge comes alive, because you've all got to keep it on the black stuff and keep it pointing in the right direction.
We're doing our best. Yeah, that's good fun. Great fun.
Have you seen a leaderboard for the Mini Challenge? Because I've struggled.
Yeah, we have, but you know, still way to go. But we're doing okay so far.
Are you on the leaderboard for the Mini Challenge?
Well, we're at the top at the minute, but you know, could go either way. So close.
See this leaderboard? I do. Bonnie Papa needs to send me the leaderboard. Right, here we go. Guy, he's at the top of the leaderboard apparently. I haven't seen your leaderboard though.
I think John Day is leading, and he caught me on that last stage, and I then passed, and then he held us up through the Nadri bit. So, but it's good. John Day is allegedly leading, but maybe Tim's overtaking him.
Don't tell Tim, will you?
No, probably not.
There we go. Thanks. Yes, thanks, Guy. Of course, the guy, I told him the weather would be dreadful earlier, and he's pretty happy, I think, that it's not quite as dreadful as I said it would be. George, the weather isn't quite as I predicted, so we're all right.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's still slippy. There's like a
fear in your eyes when I said it was going to rain all afternoon.
I know. Well, with these tyres, it's impossible. But no, there's still a thin layer. It's quite slippy out there, but it's fun. I was on the handbrake a little bit too much there, but hey, that's what spectators are for, right?
I don't think the handbrake can be used too much. No, I really don't. That's fine. We don't mind the handbrake being used as much as that. All right, Jacob, how are you managing? Well, I suppose you're going to keep the bonnet down now because you've got extra pins at the front with those lamp pods on.
Yeah, all fixed. Bit of a shame. Good laugh. We did lose 30 seconds, which is a bit gutting. And I doubt we can make it back, but it was probably the most fun I'd had all day.
The burning question, would you have lost less or more time if you'd have stopped to fix it?
Way more. Way more.
Bonnet pin's gone.
I think they were loose.
There we go. Let's not repeat that. Loose bonnet pins leads to drama. And we very much saw that, didn't we? Are you happy enough, Matt?
Well, not really. 2 more spins, but it's part of the rain, isn't it, really? You know what I mean?
Learning?
That's the main thing, isn't it? Yeah, I'm learning.
So you'll have less spins next time?
I doubt it.
Oh, there we go. At least you're enjoying yourself. Matt, happy to have lots of spins. Cheap skids, George said, didn't he? Where's you happy?
Yeah, really good. I'm quite happy with that one. I'd like to get a bit quicker, but there you go. It's one of them, isn't it? Back out, so seeing what the surface is like. It seems all right.
It's going as quick as you can without going backwards, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah, that's it.
Mini challenge crews. I will get the leaderboard from John Goff. Otherwise, I'm picking the results out of the overall leaderboard, which is frustrating. Have you seen where you are on the leaderboard?
He has. I've not been looking at it. But
I've been looking at it. Can I ask?
We just had a spin.
That's okay. I think the last 4 minis that have been through said they've had a spin.
It didn't take much time. We faced the right way and off we went again. That's
okay. That's the perfect time to spin. Keep it going. As long as you're pointing in the right direction. John Day, David Thompson having a nice big spin. David, everyone in your class seems to be reporting that they're spinning around out there. Have you managed to keep it pointing in the right direction?
So far, yes. It's been, the tyres are fantastic. And no problems at all with these. Seems to be plenty left on them, so I'm quite pleased. Yeah, it's going well.
Isn't it mad how different competitors can be on the same tyres, in the same conditions, and can report completely different experiences on the stage? I'd find that mad, you know. So, Dave Ellis, Ben Sayer, whatever tyre pressures they're using, the rest of the Mini Cooper Challenge competitors could do with checking that. As you can see, the spectators enjoying themselves there in front of the clubhouse. It's a great view, that, watching the cars come down the access road, which is normally the paddock exit onto the circuit, hairpin right and then down the hill. As you see, the MGZR of Chris Lawrence and Mick Monday, 5th in the 1400s in Class F at the moment. And, I'll tell you what, Kay Thompson leading that class will not like being held up by that Honda Civic, if indeed she's being held up and it hasn't just overtaken her. Shouldn't really be holding up a Micra, should it? But you just never know. But a great performance from Kay. Second last time out at Alton Park in Class F. This time leading the class and quite convincingly in the Little Micra as well. Reese Brooks alongside for this rally. Mentioned earlier, but Charlotte Wainwright in with Peter Taylor in the Mazda MX-5. This time, this season, would normally be in with Kay Thompson, and Kay just trying different co-drivers for the first 2 rounds. Maybe she'll like this one. Certainly going well. Roger Sparrow, Morgan Sparrow, they're being hunted down by the Citroen C2. Not a C2R2 like the original one that Matthew Arnold and Ellie Arnold. I think that's a GT, isn't it? Just see the light just starting to dim. Here, as you see Martin Scully and Sasha Herriot on the inset view going down the start-finish straight. And oh, nice. Talking of handbrakes and minis. That's nicely done, wasn't it? Where's Jacqueline and Gareth Edwards pushing that mini in? There's Ian Barnes in the Ford KA. Barn hasn't caught nearly as many crews out as I thought it would, the correct direction with things getting slippy this afternoon, but in all honesty, I don't think with the little rain that we've had, it's quite as slippery and greasy out there as it could be this afternoon. We've certainly seen it worse. I have, and you have as well, haven't we? Joe Harwood, Liam Charlton, threading their way down there in the little 106 GTI. James Palmer-Smith, 4th in the 1400 class at the moment. In the Corsa, following on, and there's Colin Adams, Mandy Lovely, alongside local crew from Mablethorpe and District Motor Club. Chris Lawrence, Mick Monday through for the 2nd time down there, so 2 laps round effectively. Once down past Barn, twice around the club section, club circuit here at Cadwell Park, twice through the assembly area and down the top of the mountain. Oh, you don't want to be grabbing handbrake quite that hard, do you? There's Jamie McBain and Ryan Stritchbury in the Peugeot 205. Shows exactly what happens if you hang off that handbrake leader, but nice and entertaining for the spectators, and they didn't get stuck, did they? And Mason and I were down there in the spectator area earlier on, and there's a cracking atmosphere here at Cadwell Park, as always, but I think because the weather's a little better than people expected, because it was supposed to be raining. I was calling the weather prediction earlier. It was meant to be raining all day. It hasn't been. You just see Michael Latham, Michael Fletcher in their 325 BMW straight six, howling down the hill towards the commentary tower, and that's the bit that just catches everybody out. Dan Bird reporting that he just got it all crossed up under braking going down there and collected some of the fence and some of the hay bales as well, by the look of the Fiesta's front wing and bonnet, adding to the damage from earlier on this morning. You see the duct tape fluttering as he came through into the finish. Ian Barnes in the Ford Ka for his first run through down the hill. Kay Thompson's come through the finish. Will no doubt keep hold of that first position in the class after that one. Second time through for James Palmer-Smith. David Palmer-Smith alongside Duke Ridge Motor Club members, not far. Mr. Pro flies at least. John Barker, Andy Walshaw doing John's first rally in that 205 GTI there. And, oh, I'll tell you what, Jamie McBain and Ryan Stritchbury are really pushing on in that wide-arched Peugeot 205, aren't they? Throwing it down the hill. Spectators there in front of the clubhouse getting plenty of airtime on this live stream. There's Kevin Ablett, Graham Child. It's Joshua Wallace and Kimberly Wallace coming through in the Civic Type R. They were on a different split to Kay Thompson, so I'm guessing they were caught at the split. In that black Civic Type R, it's just come through the finish. Confirm my suspicions. Quite a few cars separating those two on the road. Last few cars to come through this fifth stage of the day. Then we're straight into stage 6, which is the same layout. We're going to go to a quick ad break there, and you'll notice on the ad break as well, we're just flicking back to some of the highlights from the first round at Alton Park at the Neil Howard Rally as well. Quick ad break, and we'll be back with action from stage 6 before you know it. Don't go far.
We can't go rally, none of this can happen. Stand out in all weathers, very little thanks, no competency, do it for the love of the sport. So, big thank you, well done to all the Orange Army today.
Welcome back to our live coverage of the second round of the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship. We're back in the service area, which, as you can imagine, with the cars going out at the moment, is a fairly sparse place to be. Everybody's gone out to start the stage, or at least line up to do so. So we're just going to wander around and just get a few faces and voices here and just get a feel for what's been going on since we last caught up with everybody here in the service area. There's, as I say, not a lot to go at, but I'll tell you what we do have. We have our junior competitors, because they're not going out before this stage. They went out with both their stages ahead of the last stage. Matty Franklin, you struggled on the last two, I think, compared to the first few.
I had a bit of an off on the grass coming back down the hill, but it's going to happen, and it's my first one, so.
Speaks to how close the leaderboard is, that you can have one mistake like that and it punishes you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, one mistake and you're down at the bottom. It's just, yeah, it's a nightmare really, but.
One way from the bottom, but we've all seen junior events and club events where the gaps are so big that people are spinning around. It doesn't really change things. So the fact that it's swapping around and you are getting punished for mistakes, it's a great learning curve.
And it puts them all in the same thing, doesn't it? The same boat. Yeah.
Bit of added jeopardy as well. Keep it going anyway. A finish at this stage is most important. Matty dropping down the leaderboard with that spin, but as I said to him, you know, the fact it is so close is in itself an interesting part of the event. Now I'm just going to position myself down in the ATM engineering service area, because I want to be there when Patrick comes back in, because while in theory it's easy to say that these conditions should suit somebody who's driven a rallycross supercar, that might not necessarily be the case, because it is awfully greasy out there, and I don't know, we'll have to see. It's not that big a gap out in front as things stand, so at the moment that Hyundai i20 R5, the only Hyundai i20 R5 now on the leaderboard, is, well, that's a stage 5, 26 seconds. Okay, so extended the gap to John Griffiths and Emma Morrison, actually our reigning champions in the Fiesta R5. But the battle very much on for those two podium positions, because Paul Murrow and Craig Simkis, we said, didn't we, that he'd come on strong, like he did at Alton Park in the second part of the day. Didn't have quite the shocker here that he did have at Alton Park, but Paul Murrow 11 seconds back with this stage and 2 more to go. We think we're going to get the last stage of the day in, and if you remember the format we went with at Alton Park, we'll be ready at the finish for celebrations and reaction as our leading crews come back in. We'll lead the action over the top of the interviews as we close the broadcast, but that's the plan. So hopefully we will see stage 8 being crammed into the order here, and fair play to the organisers. It was a fairly sizable shunt earlier on, causing the stage to be delayed while they had to just reset some of the circuit furniture. Just make things safe for this afternoon's stages. So after stage 5 then, Patrick O'Donovan and Jack Morton lead the way, 26 seconds the lead from John Griffiths and Emma Morrison. Paul Murrow, Craig Simkis in 3rd, then it's Michael Igoe, Will Atkins 16 seconds back in 4th. Tony Robinson, Paul Spooner reporting that they're having an okay day and finding the grip, just getting a little bit more confident as they go in the Skoda Fabia R5 in 5th place. John Stone, Laura Connell reporting anything but a smooth day, just not feeling it. Laura still struggling with her shoulder after the accident, and John not really getting into the rhythm of things. But that said, they are in a very solid 6th place overall, only 5 seconds off the top 5 at this stage in the Legend Fires Volkswagen Polo GTI R5. So like I said to John, I don't feel like things were going that well inside the car, but as far as the leaderboard is concerned, that is not to be sniffed at. Mark Kelly will be ruining that issue earlier on, because his pace is good enough for a top 3 at the moment, having won the first round overall, albeit not registered for championship points. That just will add insult to injury. John Griffiths and Emma Morrison, first car on the road, are back into service first. We'll get a feel from John. He won here, to remind you, this time last year on this event. That was on his way to championship success, of course, so he knows what a win here can do. And that's exactly what he wants this time around. This championship. So as soon as John climbs out, we'll get a feel from him. But it is getting greasy out there. You can see the grime on the car, actually. Which I know sounds like a strange thing to say, but given that John won't have been off, it's very wintry. It's getting quite wintry out there now, John.
Yeah, it's quite good though. Now we're on wet, so we know what we're dealing with. Yeah, the grip's okay.
Is it wet or is it just greasy at the moment?
Greasy to wet, but the grip's there. The grip's there. It's just a matter of how much you dare push.
The question is how much grip's there, because you've got 26 seconds to make back up now.
Yeah,
I think I've seen the rules from this one.
I think it's down to Patrick's to lose now. He's got to make a mistake, really.
As far as the championship goes, that's fine.
Well, that's it. Yeah, as overall championship, we scored good points again. Happy days.
Swings the other way, doesn't it?
Yeah, does definitely, yeah.
John quite happy with things, given that although he won't, as things stand, take the overall victory on the event, as far as the championship points are concerned, with Patrick O'Donovan not registered for them, give John maximum points, and I think that would see him equal, wouldn't it, with Michael Igoe following maximum points for Igoe in the Fiesta Rally 2 at the first round. Michael is back in, so we'll wander down to his service area, and I'm just going to refresh the results because we should have a leaderboard that gives us some kind of indication at that. So Patrick O'Donovan taking a further 4 seconds out of John Griffiths and Emma Morrison. Jack Morton alongside in that leading I-20 R5 there. Paul Murrow, Craig Simkis still hanging on in third place. Again, growing. Oh no, they've lost a bit of time actually to Igoe and Atkins, so Michael Igoe clearly on a bit of a push now. You've taken a bit of time back there, so you're on a push, we can tell.
Yeah, no, we were just trying there. I think as the greasier conditions, the wet conditions maybe come back a bit more, it sort of suited us with the way the car's set up and stuff. But yeah, no, we pulled a bit of time back out of Murrow there, I think about 8 seconds. Yep. So yeah, see, I don't know if we're going to get the full 2 stages to go yet. We'll see where we are with timings.
8 seconds is not insurmountable, is it? And it's an important 8 seconds for the championship, even though we're only at round 2.
Oh yeah, definitely. 8 seconds is a big step. If we could do that again on the next stage, it'd be pointing us in the right direction.
As things stand, John's in the lead from a championship point of view today. Obviously, your maximum points last time out stand you in good stead, but that would see you equal, wouldn't it, if you managed to overhaul that 8 seconds?
Yeah, I think does that level us back up? Yeah, so we'll see what we can do on the next stage.
There we go. Michael Igoe, Will Atkins have got the bit between their teeth. They know what they've got to do. And they've got 8 seconds to make back up in order to do it. The obvious question being, can they? And the second most obvious question being, will they have 2 stages in which to do it or 1? Because due to the earlier delay, there was some talk of losing the 8th stage. The last I heard was that they were going to try and get it in. David James from North Humberside Motor Club. I know him and his colleagues well enough. I fully expect they'll do everything they can to get that final stage in. And I know they were talking to the circuit staff here at Cadwell Park, and I know how those conversations go, and everybody wants to see the event won under full stage conditions. So current thinking is we will see 8 stages here today. Paul Morris, who of course is in with Mark Kelly. Those stage times will obviously add insult to injury, because you would be up there fighting, wouldn't you, at that?
Yeah, definitely. We've just beaten the bogey by 4 seconds, and I don't know, these days it's not very often you do something like that, but I have to say Mark's driven really, really well, and I feel sorry for him what happened this morning. you know, we're having a bit of a go, I guess, and you've got to do that to get a result, and yeah, we just caught out and lucky.
Frustrating though to be up there with the pace.
Yeah, but if we weren't to go out now and do the remaining 1 or 2 stages, Mark can have a winter break with confidence now that he's got a good stage, a clean one, and we work well together in the car, so yeah.
Does that sound like you're going to do some more events with Mark Kelly?
If he asked me on a non-championship rally and I'm available, I wouldn't be saying no.
Well, your availability, like mine, has taken a bit of a hit, so we'll see how that goes. Paul Morris, Peter Shearer just chatting to Patrick O'Donovan, who, I've got to say, having looked like he was very relaxed earlier in the event, looks like he's working a bit harder now. Still pulling out the times, though. He's getting greasier, you're working harder, but you're still pulling out the time. 4 more seconds on that one.
Yeah, it was good. It was quick. I'm not sure where we were compared to anyone else, but I don't think we were on the right tyre, that one out there. We've been on the wets for the last 2 stages now, and it has really, I'd say it should have been the Michelin Super Softs, but you know, it is what it is. It's a learning curve at the end of the day, so we're definitely learning, and I think we'll leave it on the wets now, because you can probably see there's a bit of water coming in now. A few gale force winds there, but no, yeah, it is what it is. Just
won't put off a man like you.
What?
Won't put off a man like you, gale force winds.
No, I like the winds. I'm a sailor at heart.
Patrick O'Donovan, your rally leader, taking 4 more seconds out. But as you heard from Paul Morris, Mark Kelly beating the bogey on that one, showing what could have been had they not had that incident on stage 1, putting that R5 Skoda Fabia into Super Rally. Steve, at the moment, 7th place, and it's you're in a bit of a no man's land there. So consolidate that at this stage.
I guess that's what we've got to try and do. I don't think there's any chance of catching any more.
Yeah. So looking at that, actually, I got that wrong. Patrick and Ollie, I didn't think were registered, but they are. So are you registered for points, Steve?
No, I'm just here for a bit of fun.
Just mixing things up in the leaderboard. So actually, Patrick and Ollie O'Donovan are both registered for championship points. I wasn't aware of that. That does change things from what we discussed earlier, John Griffiths and Emma Morrison, and now thanks to me thinking that that's enough for maximum points. Do I come clean or wait for them to find that out later on? I think I'll wait for them to find that out for themselves later on. But that does change things a little, doesn't it? Dan Bird, Nigel Barber are back in with no more damage on that Fiesta R5, I'm pleased to report. Daniel Poole has just pulled back in, of course, leading the 1600 class. Okay, so that does mix things up from a championship perspective then, doesn't it, as well, if Patrick O'Donovan will score championship points and this round is going to stay as they are. Daniel just going through the stage maps for the last two that could see you taking overall victory in the class.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. What's the buffer? I haven't seen the margin actually after that one.
Just dropped a bit of time in the last stage because we come down to the airpin at the bottom of the cafe and we had a grain freeze. I thought we were going straight on to hold, so handbraked at last minute and stalled, but I think we only dropped 4 seconds, so I'm not worried about that at the minute.
Still a little bit of a lead there, but it's not a comfortable one if something goes wrong in that final 2 stages.
I haven't looked, so I don't even know. I don't want to know.
Okay, I'll keep this to myself, but you just need to keep doing what you're doing.
I'm going to try. Last push.
Does the rain bother you too much?
No, I prefer it. You get a bit more grip at Cadwell when it's raining. When it's damp and greasy, it's challenging.
A phenomenon that I'm pretty sure is not exclusive to Cadwell Park, but he's definitely right. It's easier if it is on full wet. And you know where you are, you can push in that situation. Mark Kelly, then we spoke to Paul Morris. If Mark's here, we'll grab a quick word. There he is, in the service van. Just spoke to Paul. That's adding insult to injury that you beat in the bogey and putting in the pace that you are, isn't it?
I know, well, I said previous stage, it just felt down on power, which we managed to sort, and yeah, that was the first clean stage of the day, really. So nice to get one in for Paul, and then yeah, it just shows the pace that's there when everything kind of clicks. But okay, It is what it is.
What could have been, but as Paul said, it leaves you confident going into the winter break.
Yeah, and that was the idea for today, was to lead us into the South Yorkshire stages, which unfortunately, as we know, it's not running. So, yeah, that'll be it, I think, until the East Riding stages. But nice to end on a good note.
You going out for the last two, or is that it?
Well, we're going to see what lights we can get on, because the bonnet's damaged, so it might just be the bottom pods. So we'll see what it gives us, and if it's enough, then we'll go.
There we go. Mark Kelly will do his best to be out with Paul Morris for those last two stages in the Skoda, but no promises, because the damage from the earlier incident this morning in the very first stage means that bolting spot lamps on is not the easiest of things to do on an R5 car. You can't just strap them on, that's the problem. So let's see if we see that Skoda back out. But interesting, isn't it, that you have that incident, and without it, it's fairly clear, isn't it, what would have been. We certainly would have had a good battle at the front. As it stands at the moment, Patrick O'Donovan is, I'd say, very humbly enjoying a lead out front. But what could have been? John Griffith and Emma Morrison. I hope I haven't affected their rally strategy by mentioning wrongly that Patrick and Ollie won't register for championship points. So we've got the dark here now at Cadwell Park, which means we've got the atmosphere back with us, and with that comes the spotlights. And one of the things I love about this championship, in fact, we'll head back down to where haters are in the assembly area, because this is one of the key parts of this venue as a rally venue. Spot lamps on, the lights dancing around as the cars come down from the grandstand. You see the lights carved up through the fences, and then the cars come through, brake discs glowing, flames from the exhaust, and it's maximum atmosphere. And as you heard from Michael Igoe, trying to claw back as many championship points as possible. It's maximum attack as well. 4th place, 8 seconds back at the moment from a very fast Paul Murrow and Craig Simkis, wandering down towards where the Mountain Crest grandstand is now, and spectators are gathering down here because this is where the cars come off the circuit at the mountain bottom. They then go up the hill and they do a hairpin right as the spot lamps just provide that nice evocative bit of glare across the hay bales. And you can feel the atmosphere down here. In fact, Paul Murrow is just up from where I'm stood, and I did want to get a quick chance on before he goes back out there just cleaning the... It says something when the service crew are cleaning the car in 3rd overall, with potentially a big battle on your hands. Clearly, the service crew and Paul confident as we make our way through the service area, navigating various crew in the dark, working on the cars, getting things ready for these last 2 stages. Just forgive me as I squeeze in past the awning. Is he chilling out in the camper, is he? Come on, let's have a chat. Well, not actually, we've got better light in here. We'll do it in the camper. Here we go. Right, 3rd place, 8 seconds to your man behind.
At top, top corner, just before the swan neck. Yeah.
The swan neck, before the gooseneck. Chris Curve, yeah.
Yeah, so we come round there, just clip the grass, onto grass, so it was like, but to feed it back very steadily.
Lucky to get back on, I have to say.
Yeah, really, yeah. But that's first mishap we've had all day, so we haven't been so bad.
So Igoe and Atkins on a charge now. They've told us that.
You've just given them the bait, haven't we? Yeah.
What can you do? Can you hold off?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Quite know yet whether you've got 1 or 2 stages to hold off, do we?
No.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they'll be hoping for 1 stage to hold off that 8-second gap back to Rally 2 Fiesta of Michael Igoe. It's interesting having the flexibility to wander around service, by the way, and wander into motorhomes to speak to our competitors. Where's Martin Hodgson? Where's he gone? Is he in there? That's why I try and catch him inside the car. catch them in the car and they can't run away, you see. I'm going to take a further wander down. We've lost Martin Hodgson. Frantic work going on underneath Michael Igoe's Rally 2 Fiesta. The guards are off and they're doing something. Hopefully just spanner checking things. The service crew seem to be frantically working around underneath that car. We'll have a check. Team Maple Garage. Phil and Katie Burton, see how confident they are going into the last one or possibly two stages. I think Phil will look back and be pretty pleased with how today's gone, and right he should be as well. One, possibly two stages to go, Phil. You've got everything in hand, haven't you, really? I can see.
I hope so. Yeah, now it's dark. It's getting proper dark as well, which I like. So yeah, see what happens on the next one or two.
It's atmospheric when it's like this, isn't it?
It is. It is. It's nice to. I understand why we go out in the dark. It's lovely in the dark. Brings me back to my road rally.
Exactly. That road rally days, I was going to say.
That doesn't bother me. Some people shy away from it, but I don't mind it.
You get closer to the spectators here at Cadwell than anywhere else. Or when you're coming down into the assembly, I was just describing it from outside the car. The lights dancing through the fences as you come down to the assembly, just picking out the crowd, and you can see people watching.
I'm amazed. It's like, I mean, I can't look too much, but my navigator tells me it's like 4 or 5 deep at the fence today, which is brilliant, isn't it?
Circuit staff heard there's at least 3,000 people here, and that was at the midpoint of the day, and we get a second walk-in here at Cadwell in the afternoon because of the fireworks later on. So I think you're going to see quite a crowd down there, and the rain's holding off as well, which helps.
Yes. The weather was kind this morning, so people do actually turn out, as opposed to if it had chucked it down this morning, they wouldn't have bothered turning out.
Changed anything ahead of this event, or just everything's gone to plan and it just all clicked?
No, she's going well. Just being on the same tyres all day. Just wearing them out and
seem a little more relaxed than you normally are.
Yeah. It's just I'm relaxed if the car's going all right. So yeah, I've been here plenty of times. So.
What are you having? Have you watched stage 2 back to see that full drift through barn yet? Are you saving that for later?
That's for tea. That's for after tea. That isn't it? That's to cheer myself up later on in it. When maybe tomorrow. You know, when you get the Monday morning blues. In blues, yeah, you're getting the withdrawal in it. But
you have to speak to the boss and maybe get the morning off.
Yeah. I've heard he's an hard fellow, but so maybe not.
Phil Burton, who is leading Class B as an Optimus Prime, leaves the display area here at Cadwell Park, having entertained the crowds all day and added a little something here. We do like our Transformers here at Cadwell Park, you may already know that. So Phil and Katie Burton led from the off today. There was definitely something in Phil's Weetabix this morning, I reckon. You're not going to see an awful lot from where we're walking to right now, but if I can, and if the light is good enough, I do want to give you a little bit of a flavour of what that looks like, because Phil's described it from a driver's point of view, but coming down to the assembly area here and just picking out the crowds, and wow, is there a crowd through the assembly area, must just feel really special as a driver. And you know, Phil said it was 4 or 5 deep. It is 4 or 5 deep in places here, and you can just see through people's heads the glare of the lights in the assembly area, and it's a really atmospheric place to be as the lights go down at Cadwell Park. It's a highlight for me. Working here as I did over the years, it was a highlight of the season, standing here in the dark and watching the rally cars picking out the spectators through the assembly area. You can just see on your screen the cars coming off the mountain up to the top hairpin and back down towards the assembly area, and hopefully you can just pick out here in the assembly area there you are, through the heads of the spectators. And I always said there's very few places in the world where you want to be stood behind a load of people watching motorsport, but when the atmosphere's like this, standing at the back of a crowd of 4 or 5 deep at the Cadwell Park assembly area, with a little amphitheatre style banking around it, and the cars coming in hot, spot lamps ablaze. That's the Mini Cooper Challenge cars, you can see with their spot lamp pods ablaze. It has a certain something, doesn't it? Got our way back up into the service area now. And, try and get to a few of your comments as well. I had a note earlier to say that there were quite a few of you commenting on the live stream, which is great. Thank you for joining us. Brian Kemp enjoying himself, watching in Burwash in East Sussex. Marty Booth says that Triumph, big old girl to throw around the tighter bits. It is, but I'll tell you what, it's a well-prepared old girl as well. I gave you a glimpse inside the dashboard on the second stage this morning, just inside the cockpit. And, it's still got the walnut, I'm pleased to say, but there's a lot of work gone into preparing that car. Lee Sellers enjoys chucking it around, and he does it with aplomb as well. I always try and use that word at least once on a live broadcast. Brilliant word, totally underrated. Melanie Capel has just a shout out to Tim Green and Bonnie Papa Motorsport. I've just given Bonnie a special stage hat for her to wear on her social media accounts. You will see something over the next few days. Dan Elmore Clothing, and also a competitor, would normally be here in his red Metro 6R4, given recent experience, but his wife Strelly is playing in an orchestra this weekend, so he's there supporting her instead, and right he should be, because our families support us with our rallying enough. And he's gone into partnership with Special Stage, and we've got a very special range of clothing with the brand Rallying is Life, and we can all get behind that one, can't we? With some really cool t-shirts, mugs and other souvenirs, as well as our own team clothing here at Special Stage. So keep a lookout on the Special Stage social media page in the next couple of days, and you'll see something pretty special that you can all be part of, and we'd very much like you to be. That's why we've done that the way we have. I'm going to wander through. Puma's got its bonnet up. Adam Hanna, the team, scurrying around at the front. Is Adam around? Yeah. There he is.
Having spotlight problems.
I wondered what was going on. Talk to me, what's going on?
No spotlights. When he's braking, they come on. When he's not braking, they leave. So, checking wiring at the moment in time.
It's the wrong way round, isn't it? You could deal with it the other way around.
When you power, you need them.
So, frantic work that the team wouldn't expect to have to do here in the service area. Maybe a bit of water in the electrics or something causing it to happen, but very frustrating when you go into well to have something like that. Create your issues, but again, not many of these competitors will do night events. Yeah, seasoned MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship crews will, being a winter rally series, but it's not often you get a chance to really test your night running gear in anger. So after we finish this stage, we will have two more stages, the final two stages of the Junior 1000 Rally Championship. See if I can get a word with Josh Slaughter down here, if he's around. Is he not here? Of course, of course. How's it going for him?
Very well, yes, up to second.
First time in the dark?
It'll be the first time in the dark, but he's a young lad. He's got carrot eyes. They'll be fine. I love it.
It looks very different, though, doesn't it? You get distracted a lot more easily in the dark, I find, because you're picking out things and you see things that catch your eye.
No. So I love the dark. I set some of my best times. Roger Albert Clark, 2010 in the dark, in the snow. We were.
What year that was?
Yeah, I off 2 stages to go, binned it from 8th or something. Not happy. But in the dark, you just can only see what's in front of you, just what your lights light up. So just nothing else to focus on except where you should be and where you should put the car. So yeah, he's just turned up. He's trying to avoid you, but he's gone really well. Up to second. It's a 1 second battle for that, and another 10 behind for 4th. So
Dad thinks that the dark will suit you just fine because you don't get distracted.
I've never been in the dark before, so we'll see what happens, I guess.
It's a fabulous atmosphere out there, and everybody's loving the entertainment you guys have put on. I think that's important to note.
Yeah, well, it's just nice to see everyone standing there coming out to watch.
So what have you got left in the tank? Anything for this battle?
Well, hopefully I'm just going to settle down for second and keep it on the road, hopefully, and come back and get my first podium for a while. So, yeah.
First time in the dark and potentially a first podium as well for Josh Slaughter after a really good performance. And it has been good to see these guys out here this weekend because it has been a lot of years. I mentioned this earlier. A lot of years since since I did any of the work with the juniors. Where is he? Where is he? Well, actually, no, Karen, I'll speak to you. Come on. You've got a lot of things to say. You've sat with a lot of drivers. How's he getting on? How do you pronounce his first name?
Jaakko.
Jaakko, right. I got that completely wrong, and I tried it 3 different ways.
Yeah, no, he's doing really well, to be honest. Second event. He's just getting used to handling the car, making a bit of mistakes, and then just getting used to that, really. And like I said, it's only 14, so
mad, isn't it?
It is mad, and it's a bit scary sitting in the side by a 14-year-old boy. But yeah, no, just again now in the dark it's going to be difficult again. So we'll see. He'll get there in the end, hopefully.
Yeah, but these guys don't really know the difference. Rallying dark, rallying the light. It's new to them, whatever they're doing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Joe's totally different again, but yeah, I don't know.
He's around.
He's here somewhere.
Jaakko, let's have a quick word if he is.
Other side.
Other side of the van. Of course he is, hiding. Jaakko.
Yeah.
Has he gone down the opposite side of the van? Jaakko, what have you got left in store? Flat cap on. You look older than your years.
Not crashing.
Is that it? There must be something more in the tank than that for these last two.
Just not crashing.
It's the first time in the dark, but at 14, not a lot of experience of any of this, so it must all just be like bright lights and exciting, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Have you seen the crowds down there?
Yeah, I've been watching a bit of the...
Does that add to the nerves?
Sorry?
Does that add to the nerves?
Not really.
No nerves at all?
No.
Just so cool as a cucumber. Yeah, and you had, I told you you'd have a lot to say. Caroline Tomlinson, who has been on our coverage many times over the years. I said earlier that these juniors are well beyond their years. Well, there's Jaakko with his flat cap on, physically looking older than his years, ready to go up for the last 2 stages of the Junior 1000 Rally Championship event here at Cadwell Park. Looks like Adam Hanna and the team are still having problems with that Puma. Their bonnet is still up and the lamp pod is still got its electrics dangling in the breeze. Everything's gone very quiet down here in the service area. Mark Kelly's Skoda Fabia has got its spot lamp pods, the bumper pods, covered up. I'm not sure if that tells us anything or not. Well, it possibly is. I was looking for you guys earlier. So John thinks it hasn't gone very well, Laura, because the feeling in the car hasn't been great. You're struggling a little bit after the accident. The car's freshly rebuilt, but the results say otherwise, because normally he sort of starts lower down in the top 10 and works his way up, but you started in 6th and you're currently 5th.
Yeah, the problem is, though, we've had poor tyre choice all day, just not getting heat in the tyres, can't push on that extra bit. You know what it's like out there, it's so slippy. So any shadow of a doubt, you just back off. And obviously now we've got a coolant leak to add to things. Yeah. And obviously my shoulder's been sore. This is the first time I've been back in the car since the accident. So yeah, we're here.
I'll give you the shoulder injury, but he's getting worse than John Indry for his rally driver excuses.
All I can say is it's only 8 weeks until he turns 60. So we need to remember that fact.
He's had a very easy paper round, hasn't he?
Well, don't tell him that. I'd like to wind him up plenty.
Okay, well, we'll do that later on. So it's 8 weeks until John Stone is 60, and he'll be delighted that his co-driver Laura Connell has given us that juicy bit of information ahead of these final 2 stages, which we hope are 2 stages. The cars are just getting fired up to go back out. See Dan Bird backing out the service area. Patrick O'Donovan's car still up on the jacks at the moment. Same for Steve Hill. In fact, I'm not sure why Dan Bird's car is going back out. Maybe it's getting re-scrutineered after hitting yet something else in that last stage. Or maybe they're just setting the spotlights. Makes great radio, this, doesn't it? Hello to Chris Rook, who is supporting Dan Poole. We spoke to Dan a little earlier. I've just walked past. They look nice and relaxed going into this one. They've got a bit of a lead in the class. But I tell you what, Paul Sheard comes on strong when it's dark at Cadwell Park and when it's slippery and greasy in that Mazda MX-5. He's not someone I'd want to have in my mirrors here. That is for certain. Amanda Barron missing the hum of the cars in the queue. Always more intense when darkness falls. I think that's the word, isn't it? It is more intense when the darkness falls and the spot lamps are on and we have the atmosphere. And I mention that word a lot, and I make no apologies for that because it's what it's all about. I'll tell you what, I will come clean, and I'll tell our reigning champion that I got it wrong. John, I'm going to come clean. I got it wrong. Patrick is registered for points.
Oh, yes.
I felt terribly guilty when I got a message to say he's registered for points. Poor John's going to be backing off now. Don't go backing off on my account.
No, I won't. Yeah, I knew he was ready for the championship.
You've been gracious and not correcting me.
Yeah, but, you know, to lose a few seconds to Patrick, he is a quality act. So I'm pleased with that. We just carry on and score points, and where we are is where we are at the end of it.
You heard whether we've got 1 or 2 stages yet?
I've not heard anything. Hopefully
2, don't we?
Yeah. I'm banking on 2. So try and push on again in the dark, and maybe try and put a bit more pressure on him. We never know.
We're banking on 2 stages. John Griffiths is banking on 2 stages, and luckily he already knew that he wasn't in line for maximum championship points as things stand. I'd hate to have got that one wrong and changed anything on the road today. That's not what we're here for. We can accept a bit of presenters or commentators' curse, can't we? But we don't want to get key information like that one wrong. Kevin Massey's enjoying watching with the spotlights on. Still dry apparently in Aberdeenshire. It's cold as well. Actually, I say it's getting cold. It's getting a little bit windy, Mason, isn't it? But it's not cold. I've certainly been a lot colder here at Cadwell Park. I haven't got gloves on, which, again, anyone who knows me will know is unusual at this time of year. Any excuse to get the gloves on. So I haven't got them on, so it must be fairly warm. There's a nice feel inside the pool camp at the moment. You guys have got a lot of support out there on our live stream. Yes. Chris Rook particularly, he's your chief cheerleader.
He's a good lad, he's Chris. Yeah, I like Chris. I've got a lot of time for him. He's a good peddler as well.
Just said that I walked past your service area as he and a couple of others were commenting, and I said it's nice and relaxed in there. They don't look like they're chasing this win at all. They're just going to nurse it.
No, it's a chilled atmosphere after the disaster we had at Alton Park. It was like, rethink. We had his disasters last night, don't get me wrong. We ended up changing TV joints, wheel bearings, because everything was just going wrong. But it's all come together, and I've got a good set of lads, Ben and Andrew. So.
Who have we got here?
My little boy Harrison.
Harrison. This is cool. We all grew up around rally cars. That's why we do this. You must enjoy this.
Yeah.
So what do you enjoy most about coming with Dad on rallies?
To watch him.
You enjoy watching the action? Well, I doubt you'd be paying for it either way, Daniel. But where are you going to be watching?
Over the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That sounds like a good place to watch. You get a lot of the view over there. It's nice to make rallying a family sport, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. He loves it. He's my little shadow everywhere I go. He goes, if we're working late in the garage, he works late. He's just my #1 fan, aren't you, pal?
Brilliant. Lovely to hear. Daniel Poole ready to defend that lead in the class going into the final 2 stages with his son Harrison, his little shadow watching on. I was 3 years old when I first came to watch rally cars here at Cadwell Park, and I'm not sure I remember that particular event, but I do remember those years. We're going to go to a short break now, and we're going to be back with the action for the final, what we think will be 2 stages here at Cadwell Park. So don't go anywhere too far. We will be back with some more action, but first, just a small ad break with some support from our sponsors here in the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship.
Cudmore is 109 on the next novelty, just 4 seconds behind. Currently in 10th place, and you're going to be looking for those 4 seconds to overtake Lee.
Welcome back to the live coverage here on special stage of round 2 of the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship. It is the Northern Side here at Cadwell Park, and it has stayed not completely dry, but largely dry, far drier than we expected it to. Particularly with the weather forecast we were staring at the beginning part of the day. We have 2 more stages left to go, and this is, as we speak, the final 2 stages of the Junior 1000 Rally Championship. You can see lights ablaze. The first time many of these junior drivers, to remind you, many of them 14, have driven in the dark, let alone driving on that stage. Joshua Slaughter, who he took it all in stride, didn't seem that bothered. But you know what? It's a big, big challenge, and as much as there might not be a whole lot more to distract you in the dark, it all looks very different. So coming into these final 2 stages of the Junior 1000 Championship, and despite the delays, I do believe that we're getting 2 final stages for the juniors, but we are going to interview the junior drivers after this first of the 2 stages. As we are getting towards the dying embers of the day and the curfew is looming here at Cadwell Park, we have been advised by the rally organisers at Northumberside Motor Club that we will get the 2 final stages there. Circuit staff playing along with that one, and everybody pulling together to make sure we get maximum stage time here in the second round of the championship. A popular event, and we've got the fireworks out in force. Well over 3,000 people here earlier today, and there's another walk-up through the afternoon, so that number will have grown from people who are perhaps more casual observers here to watch the fireworks. Mackenzie Snowden then, a quite stunning performance from him in the Suzuki Alto, despite damaging the car in the first stage of the day. Quite bad. And plastic strapping up the driver's window. Didn't let it bother him. He has a 41-second lead over Riley Chester, Victoria Swallow, and actually Riley's been fighting hard to get to that position as well. He was it way back in 5th, wasn't he? I say way back. It's a tight little body. He's back in 5th to start the day. He's got a 5-second gap and Ben Wild, who you have to say was mighty confident coming into these last 2 stages. Daniel Taylor, Stuart Gilks, brilliant performance from them. Daniel just slipping down ever so slight bit, staying within contention of the podium positions. 1 second off Riley Chester in 2nd place. Then it's Jack Birch, Charlie Mathewson, Thomas Marriott, Yako, Lloyd Edwards, Ross Cudmore, Lewis Arnold and Matty Franklin. Some great experience for our junior drivers across these 8 stages today, and the first of those coming into the stop line here handily under a tower light. So we will get to the right side of the car, bring you the reaction from Riley Chester. Riley 2nd place, a hard-fought 2nd place today, coming into these last 2 stages. What happens in the last one? What can you do?
Just keep pushing. That's all we can do.
Did you push in there?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Co-driver's laughing. There was definitely a big push in there.
Yeah.
Have you enjoyed this battle? Because it has been a close battle, hasn't it? You've worked your way up the leaderboard.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Just keep consistent all day.
Yeah. 41 to 1st place. That's a tall ask, but anything can happen. Good luck, Riley. Good performance today.
Cheers.
Riley Chester. It's like his map light on very handily for me. Charlie, championship leader coming into this round. You showed some of that class out there today. Has it really been your day overall?
Yeah, it's been all right. Stage 2 was a bit of a letdown. Obviously, losing is a bit of time there. But other than that, we've been clean, we've been consistent. We haven't had any major moments. Ian hasn't been tensing up too much. So yeah, no, it's been all right.
Happy enough?
Happy enough.
There we go, that's good. Charlie Matthewson came here as championship leader. Will take a good haul of points away, as long as he continues where he is. Josh, we spoke to you before this one, and you were nicely relaxed and not worried about the dark at all. Did you enjoy it?
It was fun, very challenging. Definitely a bit more nervous now.
Yeah.
Pitch black out there.
Yeah.
First
Did you pick out the spectators coming through the assembly area?
I'm focusing on the road really. More the cones are reflected though.
Yeah.
Just seeing myself, yeah.
A good day overall so far?
It's been brilliant, as always.
And there's still a fight to be had, isn't it, through the last stage?
Of course, yeah.
What's the plan?
Same again, max attack, but stay steady, not get red mist.
Max attack, stay steady. I'm not sure those two things go hand in hand, but if he can do it, that is a strategy that I'm sure he'll be pleased with. I called the red micro further up Riley, so he didn't actually correct me, which is hilarious. How's it gone?
Brilliant, loved it.
Riley, you've been in the fight all day, but you've worked your way up that leaderboard.
Yeah, it's been tough, but I've enjoyed it.
What were those dark stages like just there?
Fun, a lot of fun. Preferred them than this morning.
One more to go?
Yep.
What's the plan?
Go as fast as I can.
There we go. Lots of fighting talk. Apologies, that wasn't Riley Chester that we spoke to earlier on, was it? That will have been Jack Birch, that I spoke to earlier. Apologies to Dan, to Jack and to Riley. Dan, good performance from you out there. Just struggling a little bit, but you're still in the fight, aren't you?
Yeah. We only have lights in the middle, really. We need some lights pointing out to the side. That's going to be a next improvement. Yeah, I'm loving the event so far. It's been brilliant.
One more to go, and there's still a bit of a fight to be had.
Yeah. I've just got to try and battle with Josh Law to see if I can.
1 second at the moment. I haven't seen the times for that one, but 1 second off a podium position coming into this stage.
Yeah, that's what we're going for. Yeah.
There we go. That's what he's going for. You're joining us as the Junior 1000 rally drivers go into their final stage. They're coming out of the penultimate stage now. Mackenzie Snowden, though, has impressed us from day one. Look at the state of the side of this car. He hasn't let it put him off at all. And you basically just have to nurse that lead now and just drive through the last stage.
Yeah, I've been taking it very sensible and just, keeping it sensible and nice and smooth and,
It seems to have worked for you. You must be happy with the performance so far. And actually, what a nice position to be in going to the final stage.
Yeah, perfect. Fingers crossed for the final stage.
You can enjoy this one now, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that Mackenzie is definitely going to enjoy this last stage of the day. He's got a 41-second lead to enjoy as well. Tom, good performance from you today. It's been very close, hasn't it, in that leaderboard? And you know it's a mark of a good championship when it's that close.
Yeah, it is a very good championship. I think I can encourage people my age to get into this. I mean, the night stage was fun.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought, but I went into it thinking, this is going to be really, really scary. But you know what? Very, very fun. I do encourage it.
First time he's driven in the dark.
First time a lot of these drivers have driven in the dark. Have you seen the spectators out there? Could you pick them out in the spotlights?
Yeah, there was a lot of flashes.
Yeah, that's
fairly annoying. But
atmosphere, enjoy. Tom Marriott enjoying himself, and all of these guys have been fantastic in front of the camera, haven't they? We can all appreciate how difficult that is. Lewis, you must be happy with that today. You've kept it solid and you've kept to the brief.
Yeah, very happy with it. It's even better in the dark. It keeps you on your toes, and track's dried up a lot, so a lot more grip and a lot more speed.
I take it that means a big push for the last one.
Yes, of course.
John's looking fairly nervous at that. Good luck, Lewis. Enjoy the last one. And again, how great these guys have been in front of the camera today. Ross, what can you do in this last one?
Try and look at the ground in front of it better, try and be more cautious, but try and carry the speed more. I think they had a little bit of a slide at the end, braked at the same point as it normally, but you just can't see the rain on the floor, so it's just really slippery and hard to control. So
just remind me what Petter Solberg's advice to you was.
Go flat out.
Apologies. Co-driver's shaking his head. Yeah, probably shouldn't be encouraging that, should we? There we go. Jaco, you were loving life before this stage. You had your flat cap on. You looked chilled as anything. You still chilled?
Yeah, it was better than that once I've done it now.
Yeah?
Yeah, really enjoyed the night one.
So you're relishing the last stage? Yeah.
Yeah?
Did you pick out any of those spectators I mentioned?
No, they're all dark.
They're all dark. He's not dark in there. He's enjoying himself and he's gone flat out today. These guys have had a fantastic performance out there, haven't they? Well, Matty, have you enjoyed your day? That's the most important thing. That's the first question to ask.
Definitely. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. For a first rally, yeah, it's been really good.
You said to me earlier, I just want to get through. I want to keep neat and tidy, I think you said. And you've done both of those things, and you've also put in some good times, and it's been a close leaderboard, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Just been, well, my main thing for the first one was trying to get the car back in one piece, but I've done a successful job with that, so I'm happy, yeah.
First time in the dark, first time in a rally car, first time on camera and answering questions on live TV. Yeah?
Yeah, it's exciting, yeah.
Pretty impressive stuff from Matty Franklin. I think you will all agree. First time doing all of those things and doing them all superbly well. You will, mark my words, see some of the stars of the future coming through in this field of junior competitors. That's how it works. We've seen it before. We've mentioned some of the names already. Myron Evans, Chris Ingram, Elliot Payne. They all did the juniors. Charlie Barlow. And those junior drivers that went on to the heady heights of our sport started doing everything that we saw today from these guys. A fantastic performance inside the car and outside the car after the stage, talking to us as well. Really impressive. Really impressive stuff. And if you're watching at home and you in any way disagree with that, then you've been watching a very different set of young drivers, the ones I've been watching today. Seems a long time, doesn't it, Producer Wayne, since we were at Trolls Vineyard with Chris Ingram doing the in-car stuff when he was in that test in the Citroën. It's now the car to have. I wonder why. So we're going to be live with you through this last pair of stages. We will bring you reaction from this stage. So as soon as the juniors have been through for their second run, the adult competitors will be into the stage and we'll be at the stage end ready with some reaction, and then we'll be waiting down by the podium ready for the celebrations. And we'll do exactly what we did at the first round of the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship. We'll bring you the action from the stage over the finish interviews as we get the reaction as the crews clamber out of the cars after what will have been a long day for some of them, but an entertaining day for us. I think you'll agree. Hello to you if you're watching at home with us, or indeed if you're watching abroad, as I know many of you are. I hope you've enjoyed the coverage today and the action from Cadwell Park. It's always action-packed at Cadwell Park. There's always a bit of added jeopardy given the nature of this circuit, and as a venue for rallying, it is a real challenge for the crews. It's always brings a bit of drama with it, doesn't it? Certainly done that today. Drama right through the field, right from that very first stage when we saw Ollie O'Donovan on two wheels hurtling towards the tyre wall, making damage to the Hyundai that would eventually cause a fire at the back of that car, ultimately having to retire for a somewhat unrelated problem. Something to do with the injectors. Really frustrating for them, but drama from the off. Mark Kelly, Paul Morris hitting the chicane hard in the pit lane, bending the front of that Skoda. The very first few hundred yards of the first stage of the day, managing to get back out under Super Rally conditions, and perhaps, you never know, getting themselves a more than respectable finish under Super Rally conditions. Certainly showing what could have been with the pace out the front, beating the bogey on that last stage in the Skoda. They were, as we left them in the service area, trying to fashion together somewhere, bolting on the spotlights. Given the damage to the front of that Skoda, they weren't sure it would be possible. We're not still sure whether they'll be out again for this last loop of stages, but we certainly hope they will be. A good performance, nevertheless, once they got things going. As Paul Morris pointed out, a nice bit of confidence to take with them into the winter break ahead of the opening round of the Pro Tyre Motorsport UK Asphalt Rally Championship, which is where Mark Kelly's focus and, you have to say, his heart lies as things stand. Before that, he'll be doing the East Riding stages as a bit of a warm-up event for the Pro Tyre, that event not featuring in the championship in 2024. But what a performance from Patrick O'Donovan in that Hyundai i20 R5. Jack Morton, our reigning Pro Tyre Asphalt Rally champion, just giving us a bit of an insight into the maturity inside that car. 19 years old, not a great deal older than the junior drivers we've just been seeing, leading a formidable chasing pack of rally winners, former champions, reigning champions. And one of those reigning champions is the current one. He's breathing down his neck. John Griffiths, Emma Morrison. Got it all to do through this last couple of stages. Patrick taking victory here at the second round at Cadwell Park will certainly mix things up for the championship. And it'll be an interesting looking leaderboard going into the next round. Things stay as they are, but anything can happen. We've got 2 more stages at Cadwell Park, and this is the stage, a bit like at Alton. You had the middle part of the day, you had the sprint stage that basically was a blast around the circuit. It's the same thing here, but it's in the dark, and Cadwell Park isn't like any ordinary race circuit. It's more like the Nürburgring. So it's still a big challenge for our crews, but those with a racing driver background will surely have a bit of an edge here. And by the way, one of those is John Griffiths, our reigning champion, who is chasing down, or hoping he can chase down, Patrick O'Donovan in the Hyundai. At the moment, eyes on the championship points table, and being sensible about things, John is not going to push too hard and throw it all away for the sake of a few extra points. He's keeping Michael Igoe behind him as things stand. Michael Igoe currently 4th, 8 seconds ahead of him is Paul Murrow, who's had a fantastic event, and Michael will be trying to just overhaul one more position. He's got 8 seconds to make up if he's going to do that. But right now it's eyes on the Junior Rally Championship, who have joined the ranks of the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship here this second round. And as we saw from those interviews earlier, have done a splendid job, every single one of them. Close battle throughout the 11 competitors in the series. You see Dan Taylor there throwing that little Citroen around in the assembly area. First time many of these guys have driven in the dark, let alone done a rally stage in the dark. And it was Jack Birch that came through first. Apologies for that, Jack. In fact, just jump out and have a quick word with Jack. I got your name wrong earlier. I got the number wrong on the car, but you didn't correct me, which was very gracious of you. Fantastic performance from you today. You must be chuffed.
Yeah. Good day overall for us.
You're here at the end of the event, and it's been a really close leaderboard and a big fight right the way through. Here you are. The car's unscathed. You've had fun. Anything to tell us?
Amazing day, really. First time for us here. Definitely won't be our last. On to Anglesey next week.
On to Anglesey next week. Still got the fire after a hard day. And I feel like I've cleansed the demons after thinking it was Riley Chester, because the light was lacking a little bit, let's say, as the cars came into the finish here. But Jack Birch, the interview we missed earlier in that penultimate stage as the cars came through the finish. The Junior 1000 Rally Championship cruise onto Anglesey after this round. Cadwell Park to Anglesey, another challenging circuit, and another circuit where at this time of year the weather is sure to do its thing. And these guys have had perhaps a baptism of fire here at Cadwell Park, but whatever happens, next time out at Anglesey. They've all got a few more miles under their belt. They've all got a little bit more experience. But with the talent and maturity that we've seen today, you've got to say, they will be absolutely fine over there on the island of Anglesey. More than that, you've got to also say that at least one of our future rally stars, someone we will all be talking about for many years to come, someone who will be stealing the headlines, will come from this lineup of drivers. It's almost a fact, it's almost ordained these days in rallying that is the case, and we've seen it happen before. So mark my words, you could pick any one of them, couldn't you? And stick some money down. I hope we cross paths again, and I'm sure we will later in the series, but for now, congratulations to all of the Junior 1000 rally drivers and their co-drivers, their experienced co-drivers, alongside a challenge in itself, guiding these young, inexperienced drivers around these stages and getting them schooled in the various technicalities and administration aspects of the sport, as well as the on-stage performance. Up next, the senior crews are back out onto this final stage layout for 2 more stages here at Cadwell Park. John Griffiths and Emma Morrison are the crew that you will see first. Number 1 on their door. They won here in November 2022. And if you remember, it was one heck of a battle. Will we see a battle going into the final 2 stages? John Griffiths hopes so. Patrick O'Donovan, well, he'd like to keep things just as they are now. Him out in the lead on his first ever rally. Rallycross star, turned rally driver for the first time. And turning his hand quite capably to the skills that you need to win on these quite specialist circuit rallies, particularly Cadwell Park, a wet, greasy Cadwell Park in November. That is a certain set of skills, and anyone who's won here, or indeed had any experience here in these conditions, will echo what I've just said. We'll see that battle unfold over the next few stages. One to watch, though, is that 4th place and battle for 3rd, with Michael Igoe 8 seconds behind Paul Murrow, who really has come on strong. We joked earlier with him, didn't we, that just like Alton, the afternoon was going to be better for him, and it absolutely has been. He's nailed it out there. Michael Igoe, who took maximum championship points away from the opening round, has been in a chasing position. Last time he came to Cadwell Park in March for the Alan Healy Memorial Stages, the second of the visits here, organised by the Border Motor Club, who are here in force helping with the organisation of this event run by neighbouring North Humberside Motor Club. Michael Igoe had a big one. You'll remember it well, I'm sure. Coming down past the grandstands with the hairpin left in the assembly area. It was slippery. He had his racing driver hat on, perhaps. Wasn't quite ready for the car to step out with a metal gate post so close, and ripped the rear end off that Rally 2 Fiesta. It was game over so soon into the rally for Michael Igoe. He doesn't want to do the same here today, but he does, he's told us, want to push for that 8 seconds. It's like a bit of red mist. 8 seconds doesn't sound like a lot, does it? Let's see what happens over the next 2 stages, the closing miles of this second round of the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship. Whatever rallying floats your boat, whatever your favourite type of rallying is, you've got to hand it to the organisers of this championship. It offers variety, it offers a way to go rallying through the winter, and as you've seen today, demonstrated superbly by the Junior 1000 Rally Championship, it offers us a chance for us to get people into this sport, people who no doubt will become the future of the sport before long. Final junior crews making their way through the finish time control, and then it is launch control, anti-lag, set to max, spot lamps burning into the night sky here in the Lincolnshire Wolds. It's an area of outstanding natural beauty. That's official tonight. It will be an area singing to the sound of rally cars for one final hurrah. And it will close off the season here at Cadwell Park, a busy season and a successful season for the team here in style, with a firework display just after the final cars come through the finish. we're all looking forward to that. If you're watching from the service area, if you're watching from the clubhouse or somewhere else here at Cadwell Park, I know you'll be looking forward to that bit. And then it's over to Donington for the next round of the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship. Gareth Edwards congratulating Jaco on his performance today. I'm going to switch from the live stream and your comments to the final results for the Junior 1000 Rally Championship, and just try and refresh. It's starting to rain again here, which will make things interesting, I'm sure. So we managed to get the 8 stages in at the end of the day. 30 seconds then, the gap at the end of the day. Josh Slaughter said he was going to try and close that gap. He was going to have one last big push, more for him than for anything else, because 41 seconds was the gap going into these 2 stages. Mackenzie Snowden, Jonathan Turnbull then take victory here at Cadwell Park by 30 seconds. A decreased advantage from the one that they went into these final 2 stages with, but Mackenzie said he'd been driving sensibly, smoothly, cleanly, and he was managing that performance. Jonathan Turnbull alongside, no doubt advising him along those lines as well, and manage it he's done. Victory here in the Lincolnshire Wolds. Joshua Slaughter, Ben Wild then 30 seconds behind his second place. Riley Chester, Victoria Swallow have fought hard for that, but they have lost out in that final stage of the day, just 6 seconds in it by the end, dropping back to third. Jack Birch, Mike Joe just outside the podium positions. Then it's Dan Taylor, Stuart Gilks started the day in second place, held that position, and then the battle got close and it got hard. And you couldn't have picked anything between our top 5 or 6 as we've gone through the day. Charlie Matthewson, Ian Bass came here leading the championship. Charlie had his eyes on championship points and was quite happy to consolidate a mid-leaderboard position at the end of this rally. Again, a really sensible head on those shoulders inside the Matthewsons. Bangers of cash, Peugeot 107. Tom Marriott, Rob Brooke enjoyed themselves today. Tom absolutely loving these night stages. 7th place for them. Jaco 8th place. Karen Tomlinson alongside. Ross Cudmore 9th. And it's Lewis Arnold and Matty Franklin bringing in the leaderboard here in the Junior 1000 Rally Championships as we round off their final 2 stages here under the lights. Spot lamps ablaze at Cadwell Park. It's all eyes now on the start line, and we're looking out for the car with number 1 on the door, the car that took victory here last year, the car that comes here with our reigning MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally champions inside, fighting hard for that rally victory, something which they're not sure they can do. They've got a 30-second gap to make back up. Let me refresh. This is good multitasking, isn't it? My wife will be yeah, 30 seconds, the gap. Patrick O'Donovan and Jack Morton up ahead. Now, Jack has been in this position as a co-driver. He won the Asphalt Rally Championship alongside Callum Black this season. He knows how to manage a rally lead, and he also knows how easy it is to throw things away. We heard from Jack earlier. He will be, well, a voice that Patrick will want to listen to through the final 2 stages. It's real teamwork inside the car, particularly in the dark. Everything looks different, and these guys were last out when it was a little bit dusky, but it's completely dark now. The crowds are out in force. They can just pick out the 5 or 6 deep crowd around the assembly area and the areas around the paddock, and they can really feel the atmosphere inside the car. That Fiesta R5 of John Griffiths and Emma Morrison is out on the penultimate stage with 30 seconds to make up, but with one eye on the rearview mirror as well. Paul Murrow, Craig Simkis came on strong in the last few stages, 21 seconds behind in 3rd, but Michael Igo and Will Atkins will be keeping them busy from a chasing position in 4th with 8 seconds the gap to make up, a gap they want to make up desperately because those championship points are up for grabs. And after retiring here in March at the 2nd of the Cadwell Park rallies at the back end of last season, Michael Igo will want to add to his maximum championship point score from the opening round this season at Horton Park a couple of weeks ago, with as many championship points towards that campaign as he possibly can. And when you're fighting against the reigning champion who is fiercely defending that title, you can blame him. Tony Robinson, Paul Spooner have come on strong this afternoon as well. They're in a chasing position in 5th. Fair to say, 41 seconds back, just watching what goes on up ahead. But plenty could go on. We've got 2 more stages of action. John Stone, Laura Connell have been disappointed. John, 8 weeks away from his 60th birthday, Laura wanted us to point out on this live coverage. So he's had an easy paper around that. And they thought, well, they've said all day they've really struggled. Laura, first time back in the car since their accident. The car's freshly rebuilt after that accident. It's not set up properly, albeit John has heralded the work done by the team to get that car fixed, ready, and back out here to compete. But really has felt like he's not been on the pace and not got the rhythm inside the car, made some bad choices on tyre choice. But you know what? To come out here and be consistently fighting between 5th and 6th place throughout the day, and currently sitting in 6th in a fairly comfortable no man's land in 6th place at that. In fact, 15 seconds back from 5th place. It's not a position that tells the narrative quite like John tells it from inside the car. Maybe a case of what might have been had everything been on song today. Mark Kelly could tell a story like that as well, couldn't he? Beating a bogey on the last stage, coming back under Super Rally conditions after retiring in that first stage of the day with that accident in the pit lane, crashing into the chicane and taking out the front of that Skoda Fabia R5. More problems followed, not necessarily related, a bit like Ollie O'Donovan retiring with an injector issue after doing his best to destroy that Hyundai i20 R5. It was at the end of the day an injector problem, causing him to have to put the car on the trailer. Mark Kelly, we're not sure, I haven't seen on the stage because now I'm out waiting to get the reaction from our crews coming through this penultimate stage. I haven't seen whether Mark Kelly's made it back out in the Skoda, but they were faffing with the lamp pod, trying to fashion something together for the front of that car. He was fully prepared to go out with just the bonnet, sorry, just the bumper pods if he had to, just to get the extra seat time and just to seal that confidence going into the winter break, because having beaten the bogey the stage before, he felt like he was back where he should be. The car didn't have the lambda sensor problem, it wasn't down on power, which it had been, and he hadn't had an accident in that stage. First clean stage was stage 6, and they'll be wanting to repeat that performance once again. John Griffiths then, Emma Morrison come through the finish for the second to last time, provided that we do have enough time to squeeze in that 8th stage. The circuit staff working closely with the North Humberside Motor Club organising team here this weekend to try and squeeze every bit of performance, every bit of stage time. And John always gets me with that. I haven't seen the stage time yet, and it doesn't matter until we see the other one behind you either, but how did it feel?
Yeah, no, a bit greasy. We had a few moments, kind of cut the gooseneck back at one point, flat out on the grass, but we managed to get through it. But no, it was quite good actually. I do quite like the dark and round here.
There are 2 things that tell me that someone's had a good stage. Firstly, giggles inside the car, which Emma's definitely got, and secondly, the car smells hot.
Yeah. No, it felt really good. Like I said, I don't know where we are or what time we're on.
One big final push to go.
Yeah, hopefully we can get this last stage done.
See you at the finish.
Thank you.
Reigning champs, John Griffiths, Emma Morrison, then going through the final passage control before the last stage of the day, when we will be either congratulating them for 2nd place or perhaps, depending on how this goes, 1st place. Not sure what's going on here. It's like Will Atkins is wandering through the time control. I wonder if they've got a problem with that Rally 2 Fiesta. Michael Igo just seeming to struggle to get it through the time control here. It's still inclemently warm for this time of year at Cadwell Park. It feels eerie actually. I haven't got my gloves on and my fingers aren't numb, which is very unusual. Definitely problems here for Michael Igo and Will Atkins then. Oh, we've got a puncture on the right front. So the tyre well and truly gone from the rim of that Fiesta. Tony Robinson squeezing through at car 4. Tony, how did that go?
A little bit patchy, really. I don't love the dark, and yeah, you know, but you can see lights coming towards you as well.
Got a bit scrappy then.
Hopefully we'll hang on to a bit.
One more to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Michael Igo with a front right puncture. He's going to struggle with that. I'm not sure where the puncture happened. You were watching the stream. I wasn't on the stage, but that would be good news for Paul Murrow because that man behind you was coming in chasing hard.
No, it's looking good. We're all right. We took 2, 3 out of it.
Yeah, that puncture's not going to have helped his cause, but you were quite good in there.
Yeah, looked good. We'd gone up wet, so we didn't know whether we'd done right, but they worked well, really well.
There we go. Paul Murrow happy. He's ready to go for one more. Craig Simkis alongside. And you saw Michael Igo, Will Atkins squeezing through there. Haven't got time to talk to us at the end of this one, and I can fully understand why. I don't know why I've gone round to the other side of that car. Patrick, at this stage, it's all about managing that gap, and he's done that before. He's won rallies at least in this similar position, so you must be listening to him quite hard.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Jack's really experienced. He's a great navigator, so he's pacing me out there, making sure I'm not making any mistakes. And you know, that one there was all about we had a nice, comfortable lead. Just make sure we don't make any mistakes and bring it home across the line.
Let's see if he can do that for one more stage. He's grinning, he's enjoying himself. He's had his music on all day. He's absolutely loved it, and. Here's a man who hasn't quite loved things inside this car, but at the moment we'll be planning a big birthday celebration for 8 weeks' time. John, I understand you got a big birthday coming up.
No, don't know about that.
This performance today, you know, it didn't really belie your age.
Listen, old men can do a job in the right conditions, is all I'm saying. Every dog has its day.
We'll leave that hanging and just let everybody at home work out what on earth John might have meant by such poetry at the end of a hard day inside the rally car. John Stone, Laura Connell, always a lot of fun inside that car. And their performance today has been much, much better than they feel it's been inside the car, which bodes well, doesn't it? People fighting in these leaderboards. You've had a tough day, but you're getting through it.
Yeah, getting there. Enjoyed that. It was always what I wanted to do. Cadwell in the dark, mate.
And it's just disconcerting. You can just see the left-hand side of the bonnet just creeping up in your view there, which must remind you of your earlier woes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
I could have flattened that down for you, couldn't they?
Yeah, but I didn't even realise there was something hanging out the front. Couldn't see it. Okay. So yeah, but when the marshal came along and went about 3 metres in front and started pulling, I was like, wow.
There we go. Dan Bird has had not the best of days. He's remodelled the front of that car just a few times, and no, he's not stopping. Okay, Steve Finch has had a bit of a testing day. Clearly doesn't want to end it by talking to us. Well, all you got to do is get around now.
That's easier said than done, Paul. It's good.
You don't mind it in the dark?
I don't mind it in the dark, no. Lights are good enough. As long as I can see where I'm going, I'm happy enough.
Big push, or just drive round?
Just drive round.
We can forgive him that, can't we? There's usually a lot of fire inside that car, but he's done the work early on. He can now enjoy it a little bit and just get that Mark II Escort round to a class win here. Martin Hodgson, after a pretty formidable overall championship position last season, repeating that will be his main aim. Steve, you've got used to the car a little more, that's clear.
Yes, it's coming together slowly. It's took me a long time, but again.
Good move?
Yeah, I love the car, yeah. Good car, yeah.
One last stage, what are you planning?
Last stage, got to keep it on the island and push a bit harder.
Keep it on the island, as Martin said, that is easier said than done. There's a little bit of a bent bonnet going on there for Steve Hill. Not sure that was done today. We certainly didn't see it if it was. And here's a man who has been fast today on his home rally, one of his home rallies. Phil Burton. Phil, one more stage to get round, just like Patrick O'Donovan up in the front of the overall lead of the rally. You've got to manage that lead now.
Yeah, just get it to the end now, innit? That was quite difficult.
What can you do in the last one?
Same again, I think, and just get it to the end, innit? That's what it's all about.
It's always gone well if you can say same again. You need to get the co-driver a new map light. She's having to use the torch, mate. She can't reach the button. I love it. Phil, a seasoned road rally competitor, multiple winner on a number of road rallies, and you think you'd get the map light in the right position for co-driver Katie Burton, wouldn't you? Jason, Lee, you guys have had one hell of a day. It hasn't quite been the firecracker that Alton Park was, but you've had a baptism of fire here at Cadwell. Fair to say?
Yeah, it's been a good day to be fair. We enjoyed it. Nice new tracks, so new experience. Yeah.
couldn't.
One last stage. It's still not Darien weather, but you weren't expecting that.
No, the grip's not bad, to be fair. That was pretty good. There was no sliding about then, so.
Keep on the black surf and bring it home for a class win.
Will do, thank you.
A well-deserved class win, you'd have to say. To remind you, we'll get some reaction from our drivers here for this penultimate time control. We will then hot-foot it to the finish for the finish celebrations. Daniel, a lot of support for you there on the live stream. You look like you struggled through there.
That were an horrendous stage. We just got mixed up with so much traffic. We'd probably dropped about 7 seconds then. Because cars can come in everywhere, and I'm like, well, where are we going? Who do we let go? So,
forward 7 seconds.
Yeah, well, I don't want to, but yeah, that was the worst stage of the day, where with too much traffic. It was getting a bit silly out there, but no, we're here, so.
Well, I would say it was damage limitation for the last one, but you're still in there in a fighting position, so really it's a case of go as hard as you can, isn't it?
Yeah, literally, push it now. Hopefully, well, we'll see. There might not be another stage, there might be, we'll see. But
there is another stage. It's Daniel Paul versus Paul Sheard. Corsa kit car versus Mazda MX-5, and that Mazda MX-5 is here, complete with battle scars and complete with a couple of fighters inside here, I'm sure. You guys still fighting? You had a bad stage. How was yours?
I think we were reasonably okay, but not good enough in the dark as usual. But no, it's nip and tuck. There's not masses in it. I think there was 17 or 20. If we can get it down to 10, it's all to play for in the last one.
The car smells hot. I can tell you've been pushing. You've been kicking its butt, haven't you?
Yeah, smelly and muddy where we've been off.
There we go. It is the smell of hot mud. I didn't want to say that because it sounds a little bit like you're suggesting something untoward has gone on, but it's been muddy down there. Whoa. Jake, there's been a fair bit of support for you back at home from the live stream. People enjoying seeing your performance today. You've kept it clean and tidy, more than most anyway.
Trying to keep it clean and tidy. That was a good one though. We just had a good stage there. Ready for the last one. Just got to bring it home. That's all.
One more stage. It's more easier said than done bringing it home, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good when you've got a good navigator. Though I said this last time, if he knows I'm going a bit too much, he'll always bring me back. So
it's worked for you today because that car is as immaculate as it started. Harry Walshaw has been doing a good job, as you've heard, in that co-driver's seat. Stephen Sawley has got some work to do. Was it as bad as I made out?
Yeah, I hit the bill, just a wingman. We're back in, I think, 10th overall and second in class, so good result up for a new wingman when I get home.
I can tell you weren't really letting it distract you because you were fast through there.
Oh, I don't know what was that. All right, good. Oh, man.
You like the dark, I can
like
tell.
the dark, better.
I hate me carrots.
He hates carrots. I don't want to tell him that. I think that's a myth. We've all been saying that for years. One more, Dave. One more. Was that hard work?
It'll do. It's hard work. I don't like the dark. I'm not good in the dark. I'm just trying hard, but...
That's to give you co-driver confidence, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
good luck for the last one. Enjoy it.
Cheers. Thank you.
Nervous laughs from the co-driver's side of the car. Doesn't like the dark. What can we do inside here then, Alistair? What's up next?
It's all about if we can catch Steve Sawley. That's the thing. We were 3 seconds behind him going into that stage. So we need to wait and see how
he had a good stage through there, so he thinks, and he looked fast. I didn't see you through there because I was too busy waiting for you to come through the finish, so I can't give you any poetry.
Hopefully we've got a couple of seconds on him.
Hopefully, and then the last stage, it's all on for a big battle for that class victory. Right. If there was a sideways competition, then these guys would win it. You've not been in a straight line. I said that to you earlier. You've been having fun, haven't you? That one looked fun.
Good that was. Yeah. We changed the back tyres now because we worn the other ones down.
You did say that. You needed a bit more tread.
We put some more on. Is there any left on?
It's too dark. I can't see.
Go to watch. Have a look. No, good. Real good, guys.
Excellent. Yeah, he said thank you to the marshals, which is an important, really important message. Here comes Mazda RX-8, complete with its blue flashing lights on the valve caps. Davey, the flashing lights are something. Tell me.
We've just had a big spin. Hit a wall. We've hit whatever. Where did we hit that? What number?
The old airpin.
The old airpin. So I don't know what damage is done to the back, but we were sliding for a while.
It looks in a funny angle, but apart from that. Well, one more stage, Davey, so just keep it on the black stuff and we should be okay. Yeah, oh yes, definitely some damage. It's hit the Armco. I can see the green paint even in the dark. I know that green paint here at Cadwell Park anywhere. Ian Jarvis, you have had fun today and you look nice and relaxed now.
We are. Yeah, we enjoyed that. It's quick, but yeah, it's still a bit slippery, but yeah, good fun.
So given the scare you had on the first stage with the car cutting out, everything's been smooth after that, hasn't it?
Yeah, good. Yeah, we enjoyed it. One more to go.
Quietly confident inside there. Four-wheel drive, definitely the drivetrain to have, and you can see, can't you, the confidence that it gives people here. David, will you tell me how you're doing?
All right, yeah, it's going well, mate. Yeah. We had a little bit of a problem with the shock before, but it's all good. All good.
You had the knocking on the front left.
Yeah, it's still knocking. Be all right.
Not dropping off though.
No, it's all right. We've had it off the shock, and it seems to be okay. So
great stuff. Good luck for the last one. You watch. The shock will drop off in the last one, won't it? You'll regret saying that then, won't you? Hello. Are you happy?
Absolutely fantastic. You really can't have more fun with the trousers on, can you?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'd agree. You've got one more to go. Have you got a plan for that last stage?
We're just trying to finish, give it large.
Give it large.
Probably the fastest stage of the day at night. We're doing 125 on the back straight or something. Fantastic. Can't see the breaking point, but it's really great.
Brilliant. Well, perhaps you should have been a racing driver, not a rally driver, with comments like that on a stage like this one. Nigel's enjoying himself. He's got plenty of wing mirrors, and he's going to go large in that last stage. He's going large through this last one. What are you doing?
He's what?
He's going large through this last one. What are you doing?
We're going to go for shorts, just a quickie, you know. It's a quick hit piece, so the scrutineers don't realise when we're doing it with our heads, they just think we're warming up and getting into it. We're really trying to focus.
Yeah? Okay, well, you've got one more time. One more chance.
Yeah.
I've got to say, I didn't hear a word of that, but I had my earpiece dropping out of my ear through that. Peter, how was that?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, really good. We've got plenty of grip. Yes, I really enjoyed that one.
Remarkable to get to this point of the day at Cadwell and have plenty of grip left, isn't it?
I know, it is, yeah. So, yeah, really looking forward to the last one.
I did say earlier, a few people reporting that they thought it would stay greasy out there. I know this place. And as long as the rain stayed off and the wind stayed up, I knew it would stay fairly dry out there. Philip, you know this place like I do, and if it's windy like this and there's no rain, it dries up quite quick, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does dry up quick, but we're still on wet tyres because it's wet and slippery on the leaves around barn and that. And the tyres, it's a short stage, so the tyres aren't going off even though it's dry.
Makes perfect sense. Nice, sensible strategy. You've got one more for that strategy to do you proud. Philip Rowlands enjoying his day in that car, which he openly admits needs a bit of a refresh. Alex, what can you do for this last one?
I don't know, we'll just keep going, keep doing our best what we can. It's didn't have a good one on that time round, but we'll get there. We'll have a go again.
Bit patchy.
Yes, yeah, a little bit, yeah, but we'll see.
One more left. So we'll just leave the finish time control for just a moment. I'll join you guys on the live stream in a second. We're only a few yards away from the, I should say meters these days, shouldn't I? The special stage studio van, but lost track of what's happening out there on the stage. We have one more to go here, as long as it fits in. And just to give you a recap of the positions as they stand at the moment through the overall leaderboard and the class positions as well. Patrick O'Donovan, Jack Morton out in the lead of this event. 30 seconds, the gap. John Griffiths, Emma Morrison, the chasing crew. Then it's Paul Murrow, Craig Simkis. 28, the gap to second place. But their eyes are going to be behind them. Michael Igoe, Will Atkins had that right front puncture through there in the Rally 2 Fiesta. It hasn't completely ruined their day. They've lost 4 seconds as a result, plus whatever they might have gained had they been on song through there. But at the moment, still 4th place. 12 seconds to make up through the final stage. It's a tall ask, and it probably would require a combination of a stellar performance from them and some problems for Murrow and Simkis, but we'll have to see. Tony Robertson, Paul Spooner still 5th. John Stone, Laura Connell still in 6th place at this stage. Class B sees Philip Burton and Katie Burton leading the way, a very comfortable margin now, a minute and a half. They can enjoy this last stage. Ian Jarvis, Corey Powell-Jones in the Mitsubishi Evo 9 haven't got quite as much comfort going on around them because only 2 seconds back, Dave Hornbrook and Anne Dixon. Dave doesn't like the dark but he's made mincemeat of it through that last stage, and he's got himself within fighting contention of second place. 2 seconds in it going into the final stage. Martin Hodgson, you saw from him, he's going to drive through this last one. We've got 51 seconds with Tony Jones. Back to Steve Sawley and Rob Johnson. Alistair Stables, Neil Jones desperately want to take back those 3 seconds that they lay adrift from the Escort up ahead, that very second-hand looking Escort with his bent front wing. Alistair and Neil in the Chevette going to do everything they can to get those 3 seconds overhauled in his final stage of the day. Class D's, he's Jason Wilson and Lee Wilson in the Darien, pushing hard and earning themselves a huge comfort margin from Jake Briggs and Harry Walshaw, who we just saw through the finish. Alex Stubbs, Rhys Edwards, again, a further 1.5 minute back in third place in the class, but they've only got 4 seconds to David Hill and Stephen Turner in the Honda Civic. They've got to watch their mirrors, because you saw David Hill and Stephen Turner enjoying themselves in the dark and looking forward to this last stage, which always bodes well if you've got a few seconds to make up here and there. And in Class E at the moment, the last class we've got times for so far. Daniel Poole, you saw from them, one big final push. They got 17 seconds. They lost about 7 seconds through that stage, getting caught in traffic. Not the best of stages, in fact, the worst one that they've done today as far as they're concerned. Paul Shear, Colin Stevens have got a fairly, well, it's an unenviable ask, isn't it? 17 seconds to make up in a final stage, but as we've said many times before, it's whatever happens once those lights go out and you're in the stage, and anything can happen through there. So probably not on stage times alone are we going to see any changes to that class, particularly with Will Rutledge back in third place in the Nova, 1 minute 18 back, in fact. Just waiting for the times through from stage F as things stand. Kay Thompson was leading the way there coming into this stage. She was fairly comfortable in that lead, you'd have to say. So we've got just one left here at Cadwell Park, with the final crews making it through this penultimate stage of the day. And we will bring you the reaction from the finish. And we'll leave the action on the screen as well. The leading crews are already heading out of service, ready to queue up for the final stage. The organisers trying to get back as much time as they can to cram this last stage in. I know how this works. Basically, if you hit the curfew, which happens in 22 minutes time to be perfectly exact, as long as you've got wheels on the tarmac and they're competitive, the lights are green, you get through and you get it done. And fair play to Simon West, who's the duty manager here at Cadwell Park, the assistant circuit manager here these days, who has worked really hard to provide the organisers with every bit of available flexibility to get these stages in. David Large, Dave Ottaway through the finish. They've had a good day. In that Mark II, not featuring in any of the class battles we just mentioned, but many of these battles go on right through the classes. It's not all about the podium positions, it's about championship points. The old adage is consistency often wins. We are over to Donington Park with the Duke Cruise Motor Club for the next round of the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship, so we're looking forward to that. We hope you'll join us there. And you have to say, still with one stage and certain battles left to play out, the Winter Rally Series has really delivered the goods so far, hasn't it? 2 rounds in. And if it ends the way it looks like it might today, that will be 2 very different championship top 3s to relish going into round 3. And some interesting battles that will surely then open up as we head out of Christmas and into the new year. Never did get my Mini Cooper Challenge leaderboard, so we've been picking out the results as we've gone. First, those crews just coming through the finish. You can see them on the stage as we speak. We do have to do a bit of logistics now and mobilise our crews to get to the finish and bring you the reaction and the final results from our overall leaderboard as we go into this final stage of the day. So we'll be back with you with a bit of action through this final stage in just a few minutes' time. Don't go away. See you back in Kedwell Park in a few minutes.
Wayne. We're in position, Wayne.
Here we go then, one last hurrah in the Lincolnshire Wolds for the North Humberside Motor Club Stages Rally at Cadwell Park. The final few miles, what will happen through these final few miles, I wonder, as John Griffiths and Emma Morrison fire that Fiesta R5 past me. Surely 30 seconds is too big an ask. It certainly is on stage time and pace alone, but we've seen lots of things happen. We saw Michael Igoe, Will Atkins pull in with a puncture on the right front at the end of that stage before, so, you know, not that I would wish that at all, but you just never know what's going to happen at the end of one of these stages. So we wait at the finish for our top three, which at the moment would be John, sorry, it wouldn't be John, would it? It'd be Patrick O'Donovan, Jack Morton, John Griffiths and Emma Morrison. And it would be Paul Murrow and Craig Simkis, but don't forget that Michael Igoe had 12 seconds to make up in this final stage with Will Atkins alongside in that Rally 2 Fiesta. I don't think that's going to happen. But let's see what happens from now. So as you can see, our final stage is underway. Our championship protagonists, as they have become, are into this final few miles of Cadwell Park, and it's been a tricky day out there on the stages, but it's not been as tricky as it could have been had the weather come down as the forecast predicted that it might. It's been warmer than we would have expected, certainly warmer than I've known it in November here at Cadwell Park for many, many years. And as a result, it has been greasy out there. It will always be greasy at this time of year. It's a green circuit. It's not used as much at this time of year for a start, and it has been wet on the build-up, so it's always going to be greasy today, but it's not been as treacherous as it could have been. Well done to North Humberside Motor Club for getting through all 8 of the stages, and to the circuit staff as well for their flexibility in cramming everything in, aside from the stage maximums when we ran some of the competitors through that stage at the middle part of the day. We've done everything as planned. The crew both okay after the earlier incident. So Patrick O'Donovan, John Griffiths, Paul Murrow up front. And in Class B, Philip Burton, Ian Jarvis, Dave Hornbrook, your top three going into this final stage. Martin Hodgson, Stephen Sawley and Alistair Stables, and there's a bit of a battle there in Class C. Alistair Stables excitedly walking past me on the way down to the finish here, saying to me that they were level on times in that last one, meaning there's 3 seconds in it going into this final stage between the now very second-hand looking escort of Stephen Sawley and the wide arch, formidable grey Chevette of Alistair Stables that played so highly in the championship last season, and the first round did the same. Jason Wilson, Lee Wilson lead the way in the Darry, and it's easy to say that they've not had as good a run here at this second round, but I'm talking about overall results. In terms of the class, they've still dominated things there in the Darien, just not quite the giant killing performance we saw at the first round, including the problems they had earlier in the day. And nothing major, just a few little niggly things. I mean, it didn't all quite come together. Jake Briggs, Jamie McBain second and third in Class D. Okay, Michael Igo, having had that puncture on the front right coming into the finish of the penultimate stage, it sounds like has got a puncture on this final stage as well. Now, you can't drive on a puncture on these circuit rallies. You can't drag the car through like you would in a forest rally, or dare I say it, on the closed public road event. You have to stop if you've got a puncture. Michael Igo has pulled off early. That's what we're hearing. So unconfirmed at this stage. Don't forget he was fighting from fourth place at a 12-second gap to Paul Murrow in third, who, you've got to say, had the bit between his teeth and was prepared to defend with all his might coming into this. We've got a spinner at the bottom of a mountain in front of the grandstand as well. You don't want to have a car stopped there. So a bit of drama in this final stage of the day, but the latest we're hearing is that Michael Igo and Will Atkins in the Rally 2 Fiesta, having had that big blow to last year's championship campaign when they had the off and rear end pretty much clean off that Fiesta Rally 2 and the hairpin in the assembly area here with that metal gate post, getting it lost under braking, have come here hoping to consolidate a pretty strong championship position, having taken maximum points in the opening round. Fourth place would have done, to a degree, what they came here to do. But now it looks like bitterly disappointing for Fiesta Rally 2, former GT racer. As I say, yet unconfirmed, but he hasn't come through the finish. It looks like he has pulled off early. As things stood coming into this final stage, that shouldn't, in theory, change anything. However, yeah, Michael Igo, yeah, he has come through the finish now, but that time will stick him right down the leaderboard. So it finishes as this final stage started then. Patrick O'Donovan, Jack Morton taking victory, taking a further 3 seconds as well out of our reigning champions, John Griffiths and Emma Morrison, who come in second place. Paul Murrow, Craig Simkis, a great performance from them. There was a bit of a joke, wasn't there, after that opening round that, you know, he would only come on strong in the afternoon. Well, he turned the taps on early today, and that pace was there from pretty much the second, if not the third stage of the day, and he's then consolidated that. The loss of Mark Kelly and Paul Morris earlier is very definitely a defining moment in this rally result, because having beaten the bogey on the final stage before it got dark, we of course didn't see the Skoda after it did get dark because they couldn't get the spotlights bolted onto the front of it due to the damage suffered earlier in the day, but definitely would have changed things here. But as it stands, Patrick O'Donovan, Jack Morton open their championship campaign. Now, they can't make Donington at the moment because they are on the reserve list. If something happens there, that remains to be seen, but at the moment, that's a heck of a performance in quite a specialist rally for a man doing his very first rally here. Yes, he's got a lot of experience in rallycross supercars. Yes, that will bode him well on a slippery circuit like Cadwell Park. And here he comes into the finish in that Hyundai i20 R5. Jack Morton alongside, who's used to winning rallies in this fashion. Only one Hyundai i20 R5 by the finish. And we've lost the lights here in the assembly area. Going to bring our rally winners forward outside the assembly area, just under the lights here. That Hyundai i20 R5 has worked hard today. John Griffiths just to mix things up has come in the opposite way. This'll do. This is fine. Let's keep it this. A bit of chaos at the end of a busy day here at Cadwell Park. We can live with that. John, that fight wasn't really on going into the last two. You knew that. It would have taken a bit of drama up ahead. But you know what? Championship points wise, you'd be happy with that, right?
Yeah, that's what we thought. We couldn't really catch Patrick unless he made a mistake, and I think we got 21 seconds. So just kind of a reasonable run, not over the top. But yeah, enjoyed it. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be good fun now. It's amazing, the championship keeps throwing different people in the mix. So
it's going to be a big battle. We lost Michael Igo from that one with a puncture in the stage again.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. Yeah, well, it's good. It's good for the championship. Yeah, more the merrier.
Is someone going to wash your car for you here at the finish?
I'm hoping Ollie's going to do it.
Right. Patrick, that performance today has been pretty dominant. You've beaten our reigning champions on your first ever rally. Yes, you got the experience from the rallycross, but it's a completely different discipline. You had your spotter sat alongside you today. That's different for a start.
It is, yeah. It's a completely different ball game there, but you know, Jack Morton, well, he's here. He's just he's an amazing co-driver, really experienced, and just kept me on the money all day. You know, he was there to tell me when I need to go a bit faster, and he was there to calm me down towards the end when we had the cushion. And no, I'm really happy with that, and I've really enjoyed it. I haven't been this giddy coming out of a car in a long time. You know, I love rallycross, but it's I think it's a higher pressure when you're trying to do it career-wise, whereas I can come here and I can just really enjoy these events, and it's just, I'm getting out with a massive smile on my face every time. There's been a few times where we've been giggling in the car, I've had a few moments or whatever, but no, it's been an absolutely amazing experience, and I've loved every second of it.
Well, Jack, he says events plural, which suggests that you're going to be back.
Well, yeah, that's the plan. Unfortunately, he has to miss the next one because he's committed with Extreme E out in Chile, so we don't do Donington, but I'll be with his dad for Donington, so Brands Hatch will be back and fighting and hopefully go for another win there as well.
Interesting. Well, this definitely changes things as far as the championship's concerned. It's a different look to our championship podium for a start. We didn't expect you to be here. Don't take that the wrong way.
No, well, I'm going to take that the wrong way. No, I'm just joking. No, it would, yeah, I mean, yesterday, if you told me at dinner time I would have been stood here today as the winner, I probably would have told you to leave me alone and stop.
Having led all day as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was. Right, it's really amazing. I was expecting to come here, you know, have a bit of fun, try and aim for the top 5 or top 3 if we're lucky, let alone get out there and win it. But you know, the team's been absolutely amazing, and I just like to thank my dad as well. Just it's an amazing opportunity that he's able to give me for me to be able to come here and have fun in these cars. So just really thankful for everyone involved, and especially the marshals out there today. It's been wet and it's been cold and it's been pretty miserable at times for them two standing out there. But without them, the event wouldn't be going ahead. So just a massive push from everybody, and really thankful, and absolutely amazing day.
Great words from our rally winners, Patrick O'Donovan and Jack Morton, and we should somewhere here have our third place crew. Well, damage in the last stage of the day.
Side at the bottom, it just come in, and we knew it was slippy because we hit bales before. Come in, just give it loads of time, and it just didn't turn, did it? Just come straight in.
Look, a little bit of last-minute drama and a bit of bent metal to fix, but we joked before this round because at the last one it was awful in the morning for you, and you got things back on track in the afternoon. You got things dialed in a lot quicker here.
Yeah, a lot quicker. Yeah, a lot quicker. And we got home from Alton Park and with an all in the intercooler, so obviously we were down on power as well, but it's just one of them. We eat right this morning, good choice of tyres, it just gives you that little bit of a buffer, but as it works out, we needed it at this end this time.
Well, from a championship point of view, that does make things interesting, because there you are right in the thick of it. Craig, come in as well, because you've been a big part of that today. It's difficult to jump in at this level. have been fighting for these rally podiums, and you didn't have a lot of seat time together before this.
No, first time out, me and Paul, I got the call off Nick saying, can I sit in? Because Callum's away on holiday, so he asked if I could sit in. So it's hard work getting in with someone who I've known Paul for many years, but third time sat together, and I know how much he's pushing for the championship, so all I could do is keep on the straight and narrow, and I think we've done that, so yeah.
So, next up,
Donington.
Had a big fight.
Yeah, but I'll be missing Brands. I'm missing Brands, so I'll have to drop Brands.
Got to drop a score.
Yeah.
Do you know what? That bodes well for the championship. It's an interesting and a very different looking podium here. We've got new names fighting at the top of the championship. We've got new winners here at Cadwell Park in the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship. And as you can see, they're all absolutely enjoying being part of this fight, and so they should, because today the weather's been on their side. It hasn't quite been the washout that the weather forecast would have had us down for. Jonathan Palmer will surely be considering suing the weather forecasters once again for this one, but it didn't, you know what, stop the crowds, because the crowds came out in their masses today. At least 3,000 people here during the day. The only person I haven't spoken to who managed to evade me at the finish there, Emma, this is how you defend a title. It's not all about wins. You've got to get the points on the board.
Yeah, you know, we knew this year was going to be hard, and to be fair, Patrick has driven a blinder today. We knew he'd be quick, but yeah, every time we were like, okay, it's greasy, it's quick. We'll see what he's like in the dry. No, he's still quick. We'll see what he's like in the dark. Yeah, he's still quick. He's really kept us on our toes, definitely.
It's quite a performance, wasn't it?
It was.
Nowhere.
Yeah, his first ever rally and a win straight away. So he's going to keep us all going for the year. This championship is really hotting up.
Yep.
The boys have done really well as well.
Our reigning champion co-driver Emma is looking forward to the rest of the championship, and we know that you will be as well at home. We hope you've enjoyed the action here at Cadwell Park. We don't have any lights here in the assembly area, I'm afraid, so we're going to bring you what we can of the champagne celebrations. But as you can hear and see on the stage, those spotlights are still ablaze. The cars are still making their way through this final stage of the day. We'll do what we can with the available light here at Cadwell Park. Put up and make do for some of these events through the winter. But I'll tell you what, we're not going to have to put up and make do with any of the action out there on the stages this season. That is becoming very clear. For those of you who've joined us throughout today for this live coverage, and if you joined us last time, you will see that's a very different top three, and a very deserving and hard-fought top three as well. Patrick O'Donovan, a rallycross star, missing the next round because he's out somewhere far-flung, competing in Extreme E. Jack Morton, reigning Pro Tyre Motorsport UK Asphalt Rally champion co-driver alongside him, guiding him to this victory today. A victory that came out of the blue, first rally. Yes, he's got rallycross experience, but first rally, and a specialist one at that Cadwell Park in the winter in the Circuit Rally Championship is a result indeed. Second place, our reigning champions, really getting that title defence on track, as they say. John Griffiths, Emma Morrison, Paul Moreau with Craig Simkis alongside in that Fiesta R5, taking a bit of the stage furniture with him in that final stage of the day, leaving this crew with a bit of work to do before the next round. And it may be that a racing driver's line is what was the final undoing of Michael Igoe and Will Atkins in that Rally 2 Fiesta, because at the end of the day, that puncture on the penultimate stage was repeated through the final stage of the day. Something didn't go right in those final two stages, did it? And the final hurrah then, the champagne moment, the celebrations at the end of this second round of the MGJ Engineering Circuit Rally Championship. from Cadwell Park, from the second round of this championship, and from the North Humberside Motor Club Stages Rally. Thank you for watching. We hope you've enjoyed the action as much as we have, and we hope, and I'm sure you're looking forward to whatever comes next, as this championship seems to turn on its head every time we light up those tyres. Thank you for watching. We've loved it, and we hope you have too.